and we're vibing with Reeves. Yeah, you know it, you know, vibing, baby. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's do it. And I'm in a cool mood today. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Hope everyone's doing fine. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're safe. Hope you're happy. You know, hope your peoples are happy. Hope things are going well for you. Hope you're holding on, maintain it. Gotta struggle and strive to survive. But after you survive, the next step is to thrive, baby. So don't don't be discouraged. Don't stay discouraged. It's all right to feel a little discouraged sometimes. I mean, it pops up as a human emotion, but don't wallow in it. Don't like stay there. May sound easier to do, but you wipe yourself off, get up off of it, work your way out of it, and work your way to feeling better. Of course, that may be therapy, church, mosque, whatever you do that's positive that can help you, you know, do what it takes. Do what it takes. Yeah. So we're vibing. And I want to talk about old school. I want to talk about the old school, you know, maybe a little bit of old school, new school, old school, new school, leave the nerve no. You know, ain't nothing like the old school, the good old days, and right now. Okay, boom. You want to get into it? Let's get into it. When people talk about quote unquote back in the day, the quote unquote old school, you know, people either have reverence for it. Oh, those good old days ain't nothing like back in the day. We was doing it big back in the day, son. You understand what y'all doing? That's all right. But man, we was getting it back when we was getting it. Tell them, bro. Yeah, we was getting it. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was like a movie, man. Just without the cameras. You know what I mean? Just without the cameras. Cause back then cameras kind of sucked a little bit. You know what I mean? If you ain't have a real photographer camera, you had to throw away joint. Click and then you mean the circle and worked the wheel for a while. Like, yeah. Y'all got us on the cameras. But other than that, back in the old school, they have that level of reverence. Some of them you could say put on the rose colored glasses and everything seemed better. Back in the day, it's like, oh, back in the day, we didn't have poverty. Back in the day, racism, what? Back in the day, there was no pain. Back in the days, who felt sad? Oh, I miss it back in the old school. Like, what? There was a Great Depression. There's recessions, racism like a mug, you know, crack, heroin. Like, the old school had wonderful things, but there was some bad shit too. Don't try to like act like that wasn't the case. So some people put the rose colored glasses on. I did an episode on that too. You can go back through the episode list on the Spotify's. If you got on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts, you can go back through there. I didn't upload it to YouTube yet, but I will. But yeah, it's rose colored glasses. But yeah, some people see rose colored glasses. Some people see the old school through this through a lens of disdain. That back then, the 80s. Oh my gosh. Were there even airplanes then? Oh my gosh, the 80s. Were y'all sleeping in caves and wearing fur? You had to kill animals and wear the furs? Oh my gosh. The 80s. Oh my gosh. He was alive in the 80s, Uncle Day Day. Oh my gosh. How did it how did it feel to experience slavery firsthand? Did you run away to the north? Like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. They even look at it with disdain, like, ugh. I would never be like them niggas back in the day. Y'all was docile. And that's the other people. Everything from the past is whack and bad, and everything's much better now. There's the people that think even people, brothers and sisters in the civil rights movement, too docile back then. They said, "Oh, I would have did all this stuff." No, back then, singing that "We Shall Overcome." Shit, that had that been me and mine's, we would have been singing a different song. They gon' get these guns. We gon' get these guns. Shot everything up, and we would have been free now. Like, yeah, get out of here with that shit. Because what you doing now? Talking about what you would have did then, and you got nothing, space and opportunity. And all you talk about what you would have did if you was in a certain situation, but you ain't busting on moves when you got nothing but space and opportunity. Ain't so some people are like that. They see the past. They don't see anything good about the past. You know, it's so that's two of them. Yeah, there's more than two categories. There's people who see things a little more in the middle. They say, okay, they see bad. There's bad things definitely in the past, but it was good things definitely in the past. So it was not like they're trying to demonize everything from back in the day, and it's not like they're throwing on the rose-colored glasses and act like nothing bad ever happened back in the day. Like it was just all ice cream and bouncy houses and nothing else. Like, oh, it was like heaven. And then the 90s came and messed everything up. Like, no, no, no. It was damn 90s. No, man, no. It's not like that. So you gotta understand when you talk about old school, people gonna view it differently. And also what some people fail to realize when you talk about old school, it goes by the person's age. So what's old school to an 80-year-old might not be the same thing as a 60-year-old. 60-year-old like, wow, because 60-year-old, that person is probably that 80-year-old is probably their parent or something, or in their parents' age group. So they wasn't around for some of that stuff. So that's even old. So they're like, okay, that's an even older school. They didn't even have someone, if you're blessed enough to know a elder that's like 100 or something, you're like, oh, that's the oldest school. They living like Bible people. You're 103 years old, about to be 104. Ooh, that's the oldest school. That's ancient school right there. But if you get a young person and they say, hey, old school to them, you might be like, how's that old school? That was like 5 years ago. But that person's like 19 or 20. So old school to them is gonna be something different. You might say old school to you is I got five on it. Choking with that in the weed. Let's go half of the side. Doom 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 doom. That might be your old school. Cool. That old school to them might be Kendrick Lamar. Love me, love me. I wanna be with you. Hey, I wanna be with you. Hey, I wanna be with you. To love me, love me. Remember that joint? Of the damn album. You like tiny old school. That was like 2017, 2018. So you're dealing with someone that's like 21 years old. You're talking about something that came out like 2017, 2018, and they're 21. That's old school like a mug to them. They couldn't even be outside like that. At 21, what? They was like 14, they was like 13 or 14 when that song came out. That's old school to them. To you, that ain't old school. Old school to you might be, it's been an hour, you been gone, much too long. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Jodeci. That might be your old school. Old school to them might be Jean, Janae Aiko. I can't say, but I love you. I want you. That shit. That might be their throwback. You're like, what? You, you might, that just came out yesterday. No, it ain't. Or you might be of the frame of mind where you think something that you grew up on is an old school. You're like, that's not a throwback. That's not old school. That's that joint they was playing in my prom. How long ago was your prom again, bro? Oh, my prom was just then that. Oh no, I'm old. Realization hits you like a Mack truck. You're like, oh, and you're like, damn, that was a while ago. If Case Happily Ever After was playing, was the music that was the DJ was playing, and y'all was slow dancing at your prom. That shows that's a throwback because you know how long ago that was, and keep in mind it was brand new when that song came out, so that means it's a throwback. It's cool, you know. Sometimes we don't realize when we hear a new joint that eventually, if you live long enough, we will see that song in a different light. We will hear people like, oh, I remember this song came out. This that throwback. This the old school. This ain't that old school. This came out when? When it came out, bro? When it came out, bro? Oh, 1980. What? I hear you. 1986. 1986. Oh, what year is it now? 2025. Oh, wow. So that's dang. Okay. So it is a throwback. Yeah. So that's the age. Sometimes you don't realize the songs that you get. It seemed like it came out yesterday, and then realize, oh, some time, time to snuck up on you. But don't realize that the people approach you about something that happened. Well, seemed that happened to you just yesterday, but they'll act like it was something from way back in the day because kind of it is. It was like 3 decades ago. They asked you about something that happened 3 decades ago. Like from a historical standpoint in their mind, they're like, oh yeah, tell me about the old days. Like when Wu Tang and Jodeci did a song together. Tell me about those days. You're like, that ain't oh, that was oh yeah, that was oh shit. Make have you feeling like an old man out on the porch in a rocking chair. Boy, let me tell you about them good old days. Let me tell you about the good old days. We had the bubble coats. It was really on some different. So you get the reversible bubble coat. It could be yellow on one side, then flip it over, it'd be blue. You know, two coats for one. You know, I'll be messing with you, man. So that's one thing about old school, you know. People gonna be curious about it. There's gonna be people that's curious, and there's people who don't want to hear anything about it. They couldn't care less because they care about right now and the future. And then there's people who don't even care about the future. They just, now is everything. Now there's no future. There's now. There's now. They don't want to hear. They don't even want to hear about 2 years ago. They want to hear about today. You can tell them about yesterday, but that's it. No further. You know what I mean? They don't even want to hear about 2 weeks ago. You trying to tell them about what happened back in 1995. They don't care. They don't care. They do not care, sir. They do not care, ma'am. They do not care, ma'am. You know. And one thing I noticed, people don't say sir and ma'am as much. And when I hear it, I'm like, wow. They'll say sir more than ma'am, but yeah, ma'am's like, wow. That's manners. Someone taught them manners. That's old school manners. That's old school manners. Now, you know, instead of ma'am, they might call an older woman auntie. Nice jacket, auntie. Can I help you with your bags, auntie? You're lucky if you hear that. You might hear, move the fuck out the way, auntie. Oh, whoa, watch your mouth. Chill, huh? I'm in a rush. So, you know, and uncle's the sir. And uncle and auntie is also another way to say OG. And those are another way to say that's some old asses. That's what it is. The old. They try to snazz it up. Because just a few years ago, they was calling people old head. Remember that? What up, old head? I thought it was going to get worse. I was just waiting for them to say, what's up, senior citizen? All those AA, all them art benefits doing, how them old people benefits doing. You, like I'm not that old yet, but I hope when I become old enough that the benefits will still be in place, and I hope they'll be great. At least that's something that's waiting for me. But I don't know about them as of yet, asshole. Ugh. But that's one of the things when you deal with the old school versus the new school. We have different ways of doing things. Some things have changed, some things have stayed the same. And it's funny, some things are staying the same. We just describe them differently. It's like the slang that used to describe the situation might have changed. It's still the same stuff, you know. And it's funny, sometimes it's the same thing, but people don't know it. Like some of them young kids don't know that some of them hairstyles they have was in the 80s. Yeah, it's funny when you had the kids with the flat top, like, yeah, our generation come up with everything. We came with these heads. Like, no. Then you show them an old Kid at Play video and Big Daddy Kane video, and they like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all didn't invent that. Things come back. That's the cycle of life. Things come back. And like the distressed jeans, aka back then, we just say ripped jeans. Cause they jeans ripped, you know. Cause I was wearing those things, what, 89, 1990, you know what I mean? That was the thing. I remember I thought it was hot stuff because I had London Fog. I was a kid, and back in the day, old school, London Fog was the joint for kids. That was our flash. London Fog. Oh, you got the London Fog, and it was price friendly for the parents who actually had to buy the stuff. So that's great. So anyway, I had the green joint with like yellow on the inside of what's this thing, the lapel or whatever that is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, right here. Sorry, lapel. I'm a collar, whatever. But it was green. It was dope, and I had the pants with the rips in them. That's what we call them, the jeans with the rips. We didn't say distressed. We was like distressed sound like the jeans. I don't like the term distressed jeans. It sound like the jeans got problems, like the jeans significant other left and having an existential crisis. What does it mean to be a jean? Like, what if no one wears me? Oh my gosh, depressing ass jeans. No, jeans with rips in them. Go back to calling it that. Anyway, jeans with the rips couldn't tell me nothing. Had a little S curl with me. Had the That's right. I had the S curl. Damn it. Had the S curl with the flat top. Had the flat cop. I said flat cop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Flat cop, flat cop. No, flat top with the S curl and fade on the sides, little part right here. And couldn't tell me I wasn't doing it big. And I was, with the family, the parents and my little sisters, and we went to see the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Old school throwback. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, and they've done like at least 20 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since then. And I feel like I've seen most of them. Out of those 20, out of the 20, I think I've seen at least 17 of them, probably 18. There's two I know I didn't see in movies theater. There's two I didn't see, but well, I'm sure I saw the other 18. But old school, and that's something else. That was rehashed. Like a lot of the movies are rehashed. Like Ninja Turtles keep rehashing because that's one of the things that stayed popular. They bring it back out again, it becomes popular. So it's timeless. They just reflip it. They just do it in a different way, present it in a different way, and then the new generation hops up on it and loves it. New generation digs it. So that's the timeless concept. That's the timeless property right there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then Hollywood does that for other movies too. Like they did it for 21 Jump Street, which wasn't based on a movie, it's based on a TV show, but I went to see that too. That was good. You know, like I said, flip it. You know, the house parties, sequels, movie sequels, the old school. Then people take it and want to do a new thing, a new um version of it, a reimagining of the original entity, if you will. So, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. That's one thing with old school and new school. And what's funny? People talk smack, young people talk smack about the old slang. And guess what? They're supposed to, because it's the natural order of things. When that old slang, what they call the old slang, was the new slang, the older people was like funky, fresh. Is it funky or is it fresh? How is it both? It can't be both. Why you call yourself Rock Master D? Yeah, your name is Daryl. No, I'm Rock Master D, Mom. Okay, sure. So that's one of the things you look at it and they like, dang, people make fun of the old thing. Then Rock Master D becomes older. He has kids of his own. He's looking at the slang, hearing it, listen to him like, what do you mean? You pulling up with a stick? What are you, Donatello? What? You just gonna hit him with a stick? Like, that's not gonna do nothing. They got guns. Like, no, he said he got a bigger gun. He ain't say nothing about no damn gun. He said a stick. I heard him. He said a stick. Like, no, that's slang for a gun. Oh, a big gun. Oh, oh, oh. He keeps saying he's gonna pull up. Now ain't the time for exercises. You got beef. Yeah, I want all the smoke. I knew you smoke weed. I do, but I'm not talking about weed. It's like smoke. Smoke means beef. And they'll be like, oh, see. It's natural for the older people to be like, what is this you young people doing? And the younger people do, oh my gosh, whoops, y'all doing. Then you switch places. That's that's one of the things. You switch places when it comes to the slang and the fashion sense. Sometimes some of the older stuff just stay. It don't go anywhere, just stay. Like the word, like the slang word dope. People been saying dope. Oh, that's dope since like 1985 or something. It's still there. Now we just it's super dope. But see, flipped it. And by the way, I have a song called Super Dope. Check the single, streaming sites, whatever. But you can find it on my Henny Black album on Bandcamp. That's right, Mr. Reeves, Henny Black. You know, check Super Dope single out. There's two on YouTube. Thank you. Your appreciation is supported. Oh, I said that backwards. I apologize. I mean, your support is very greatly appreciated. I should edit that part out and don't have it there. But guess what? I won't. It adds character. It adds character to the thing. So you're gonna see it. Oh wow, cool. But yeah, and when you speak about slang, slang is nothing but a saying, the way you say things. You know, and one thing that is important is old sayings, not the weird, crazy ones like I talked about before. When people say, "Oh, you could you could pee on my head, and you can't pee on my head and tell me it's rainwater, it's rain," stupid stuff like that is just weird and stupid. Or the stuff that say, there's more than one way to kill a cat. Nigga, stop finding ways to kill a cat. You're a sicko. You're finding ways to kill cats. You're like a sociopath, psychopath, or the evil paths. You're just wrong. You're just like a serial animal killer. What's wrong with you? Why do you know that? Why should there be more than one way? You shouldn't be doing it anyway. So no, no. Not talking about when people say that dumb stuff. I mean, when people say things that make sense and could save your life, like everybody ain't playing with you. Boom. I'll repeat it. I'm gonna say it again. Everybody ain't playing with you. That's true. I did a whole episode on that. Yeah, that's true. You can go back and look for that one too. It's called Everybody Ain't Playing With You. Look back through the episode list. You're gonna rock with that. Everybody ain't playing with you. I'll say that again because it's the truth. Some people play too much. You ever meet someone, they're like, dang, you play too much. Some people play too much. Some people don't play enough. They don't have not an ounce of play with them. You're always this close to going off. They this close. You play with that one, they're always serious. They is for whatever. They don't even play with the people they love. They don't play. There's that one kid that grew up like, oh, he ain't playing with the other kids. He don't play. No, period. He don't play. But he 3. And this is preschool. He don't play. He grew up to not play. He was serious. He was serious as a 3-year-old. He gonna be serious now as a 25-year-old that's putting his foot up your whack because you kept playing with him. So watch that. And there's women out there that's just the same. Some of these people don't be playing, and you're lucky if they just beat your ass. You're lucky if it just be fisticuffs. I'll just leave it at that. Some people go beyond that. Everybody ain't playing with you. So don't play with your life thinking other people playing around. Now they want to joking around because you joking around because not everyone shares the same sense of humor. So what you find funny, the other person might find offensive, especially if you're playing like you're tough. You're trying to act tough with the person and you don't know a person like that. They might be like, all right, this might be your last conversation. Keep playing. So you don't want to be in that boat messing with the wrong people. So that's one example of an old saying that could save your life. Another old saying, watch your friends. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you 2 for 1. Watch your friends. And everybody ain't your friend. They connect. Everybody ain't your friend. So watch your friends. Period. And I did an episode on friendship too. I think it's called Friendship, or yeah, I think it's called Friendship. It's something about friends in the episode list, You could check doing that episode too. But yeah, I say everybody ain't your friend. Some people think they have 1,001 friends. And then when they going through it, only 2 friends hit them back. Now, I'm not saying every one of those quote unquote 1,000 friends that you swore you had didn't care about you. But at least 700 of them don't give a damn about you. That's too much. It's too much. It's too much. You think you got that many friends? You don't. You have a hell of a lot of associates, though. I'll give you that. You don't got that many friends. You don't. You know what I mean? You lucky then, even with friends, you gotta look at the quality of friends you have. So they say, watch your friends. Because some friends are backstabbers. So when you look at it, they're not even really friends. They're not even really friends. They're your enemies. You just didn't realize it. They're friends that'll stab you in the back. That means they're just enemies that you haven't discovered were really your foes yet. They didn't show the true colors yet. You didn't. There's just snakes that you didn't catch while they were slithering. They just sneaky with it. Some people are gonna be upfront about it. Some people gonna be sneaky, low key with it. So everybody ain't your friend. Don't think that everyone's your friend. You know. And even if these people are your friend, watch your friends. Because sometimes friends flip. There's people out there that trusted their wife with their friend. You know, Next thing you know, that friend is whispering some crazy stuff in the wife's ear, hating on his best friend or something. Dang. I couldn't treat you the way he treats you. Next, telling her all the dirt you've been doing, or just making up some dirt. If you're really a good guy, you might have to make up some dirt. You might have to pretend, oh man, his ex came back. I know she's thick and all, but and she said she don't have to gag reflex, but he still don't have to do that to you, baby. I don't like the way he treats you. Get on his baby face on. Yeah, I don't like the way he treats you. Old school R&B, but I don't like the way he treats you. They drop a dime on it in a minute. They would kick. They would like, nah, I don't like the way he treats you. You can do better. Then they start singing, so you gonna do all that. And then you might come home and see him trying to get it or see him getting it. So no, so would you consider that a really good friend? So sometimes you gotta watch your friends, see if they're really your friends. I'm not saying be paranoid, but sometimes we may give out trust that really isn't earned. Give trust to someone who doesn't deserve that trust. Yeah, that hurts when you trust the wrong person too much because you thought that was your friend. That's gonna hurt. But if that's happened to you, I'm sorry about that. And yeah, you get through it. Just next time, watch. But it's hard. It's hard to be on point all the time. I'm not gonna say, yeah, watch everything. You'll never. No, it's hard to. That's the thing. It's hard to be on point all the time. How do you never mess up? That's not even possible. How do you never mess up ever at any point in time? How? It'll never happen. So there'll be times where you messed up and you didn't see something. Once you see it, you see it. You gotta act on it. Once you know what's going on, you gotta you gotta behave that way. You know what's going on. You gotta act accordingly and carry it in the proper way. Boom. But like I said, those are some old sayings that could save your life. You know, so yeah, that's the old school. And sometimes people talk about the old school so much better than the new school. But I say one thing, the new school, they have a new batch of worries. It's like the future out this month. They have a new batch of worries that I never saw that shit coming. Never saw it coming. They get bullied in futuristic ways. They get cyber bullied. We didn't even know that was ever going to be a thing. My generation is like, what? Cyber bully? What's that? Because most of us didn't have access to computers like that. So when we went to computer class, or we went to the library, got on a computer in the library. So your access to the online world was so limited. Bullies couldn't even get to you. They couldn't. They didn't have computers either. Sure, they be at the same lab. Like after I finish looking up this information on this website and uploading this picture, I'm gonna whoop your ass. But that's the closest thing you get to a cyber bully. Is your bully being in the computer lab with you? That's the closest you're gonna get. Everything we still have bullying. It's just up close personal bullying. So it was more physical and um it was verbal and physical. But with the cyberbullying, it's verbal, mental, which is still bad. Because the words could stay with you, especially if you're dealing with someone. And let's say these kids are going through a lot at home, then they have to go through a lot online. In the cyber world, you got to go through a lot online and in real life. Oh nah, I couldn't picture that. I'm blocked. I'm blocking. I'm throwing a block party, and everyone's invited. Come at me wrong. I block. Oh, that's my mentality. I just block. I ain't even gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna think of a response. You will be blocked. But that's them. But that's me. They have to be on that. They go to school with a phone. Like a phone is part of your personality. It's part of who you are almost. By the time you're a toddler, because you see little kids on phones and they know how to really do. You see a 2 year old sending you a picture like Google that. Okay, they won't say Google Gag, but they don't always talk the best, and they'll sit there, but they'll know how to send you a picture. They know how to send a video. They know how to do that before they know how to spell their name sometimes. So it's different than when we was coming up. They had the phones and could do all this crazy stuff. They have so much technology and then so much information coming at them left and right. And that's dangerous as well as good because, I mean, it's good they have so much information available at the fingertips, but it's bad because there's no really, I'm sorry, there's really nobody really saying, cutting it off and navigating. There's not enough people saying, hey, this isn't factual, this isn't actual. There's a lot of misinformation online, a lot of disinformation. There's a lot of proper information. Then all of a sudden, I mean, then all of a sudden it pops up. You're like, oh, sweat. This is crazy. If someone says something that might appeal to them, but it might not be healthy. There's toxicity out there, but it'll be honey coated, sugar coated, and it'll seem like it's positive and it's great, but it might be horrible. Or it might be something that's on point, but they might not be ready for it at their younger age. So that's the other thing too. There's a lot of that on there. So parents have a lot more to worry about as far as that, and a lot to keep up. And back in the day, it was easier because you didn't have a mini computer in your pocket. If you had a computer at home, you could just put the parental controls and stuff and just check. And we had this thing where you didn't really have privacy like that. They just knock on your door and do a search. Shoot, and then they're not even going to do a search. You better open it. Shit, some parents really didn't trust their kids. They kick down that door like SWAT. Just look at the where that, where that, where's what at? Wherever whatever you shouldn't be doing. Where is it at? They was looking in, so you didn't have that privacy on that. With some people, you didn't. You was like, nah. So you had to try to get into stuff. Now it's easier for kids to get into stuff because so much is in front of them. So that's something that's really difficult, and that's an issue that parents back in the day didn't have as much because now so technology is so much more pervasive. I mean, you could talk to people from all over the world. That's a good point, and the bad part is you can talk to people from all over the world. You know, People could be off their rocker. People could be sane. People could be evil. People could be weird. All types of. So yeah, that's one of the things we have to take into account too. And another thing I've noticed, mental health is an issue now. Mental health is being addressed more now than it was before. If you said mental health, people are, oh, you going to the nut house? You crazy? Oh, he said mental health. You're not a psychiatrist? Oh, you get him his rubber suit. He going to the nut house. Like, dang, you couldn't even say it without them throwing mad foul stuff on your name. Like, talking about you crazy. Yeah, it was mad, mad foul back then. It was horrible. You couldn't even say, hey, maybe you thought about getting therapy. Court order therapy? Like get out of jail? Like, so you get out of jail, right? You don't just mean you on your own go to therapy. You a psychopath or something, bro? Stay away from this nigga. He crazy. He talking about therapy. Oh. You could be by yourself. They'll leave you by yourself. A person could be getting bullied, and you say you go get therapy. They'll, you know what? I'm gonna chill with the bully. He beat me up, beat my ass up, but he's just a thug. You a psycho. I'll take my chance with the thug. At least he's sane. He's he's mean, but he's sane. Like what I gotta be all that. I just said the word therapy, but that's how bad it was back then when I was coming up. It was really looked down upon. now it's not looked down upon as much, especially by younger people. By younger people, it's not as much. People from my generation, older, they still more of them still like, I don't need that shit. They look down, they don't want anyone to have it. They're like, what's that? So that's one thing I noticed about it. And also, we have this weird fascination with what's toxic and toxicity. I should probably do a whole episode on that, you know, because this weird fascination with calling something toxic and calling people toxic. And everything isn't toxic, but there's a lot of toxicity out there. So it's like, what's really toxic? I've seen people call people out for toxic behavior while engaging in the same toxic behavior. It's like, wow, how do you be toxic but point at someone else to call them out for being toxic? That's like crazy to me. It's weird. It's like, hey, man, you treat your woman better, man. Always disrespecting your lady. You should love her, treat her right, bro. Then the girl will come up to you. Hey, babe, that's right. Shut up, bitch, talking. Like, no. No, how you gonna be that? No, if you're gonna sit there and hop on your soapbox, don't be committing the same dirt and foul things and foul same dirt and foul acts that the person you're pointing your finger at is committing. That's like me going out to drink with you and I'm putting you down every time you take a shot. Like, look at you with your drunk ass. Want another shot? Okay. Then you drink. Alky motherfucker. Look at you. Lush. Can't live without the stuff. Bartender. Like, no, I can't do that. That's crazy. No, people do that. People will do that. Be just as foul. And we doing the foul thing right then and there and pointing the finger like that's toxic. No, it's toxic when you do it too. It ain't just toxic for them, but okay for you. It's toxic, period. You know? If you're gonna say, hey man, this is wrong. It's right when I do it, but it's wrong when anyone else does it. That nah, that's not cool. You know, sometimes people call something toxic and it's not really toxic. They just don't agree with each other. And that's another thing that sometimes people need to know. We can disagree without demonizing the next person's beliefs and their viewpoints. Because they could demonize your viewpoints and your beliefs as well. Because sometimes, you might be the bad guy in someone else's story, and they're the good guy in their story. But you looking at them, and they're the bad guy in that in your story. They're the bad guy, but you're the good guy in your story. You feel me? So you looking at them like, and they looking at you the same way. So they're wrong to you, but you're wrong to them. So sometimes you just have to understand. It's not always easy, but try it, get to it. It's doable. It's not always easy, you know, to be open minded to things and to disagree without being disagreeable. That's a life skill to me. If more people did that, it the world would be a better place to me. That's one of the things. That would be better for old school and new school. If you listen, listen to each other and don't just sit there and put the other person down like F you stupid. What you need to do is listen to me. No, F you stupid, you outdated. You need to listen to me. Like, no, listen, you can learn, both sides can learn from each other. Old school, new school, we can learn from each other. We can. We have to listen to each other. We should be able to hold conversations and discuss different life um views without lunging for each other's throats. Sometimes things Yeah, the energy will be we should be able to bring it down, you know. Because not everything old is outdated and toxic and foul. But not everything new is right and perfect either, you know. And now I think for the people that think everything new is messed up, that's not true. But the people who think everything old is perfect, not true either. There's some BS in all of it, honestly. And this new school, if this world lasts for another 30 or 40 years, whatever, not wishing anything bad, knock on wood, but I'm just saying, then this new school will eventually be another extension of the old school. And then if you're 20, you're 21, 25 now, you're like, oh, this is how we do it now. You- Once you get to 40, 45, you'll be defending how you used to do it to like the younger generation. So it'll be weird. Because by then they'll be on some new shit. They'll be on some new stuff. So the stuff that you say, oh, this is we popping right now. Forget what was happening before. We was happening now. This is what's going on now. 5 years pass by, maybe it's still going on. 10, 15, 20, it'll be something new. So then what's happening now becomes what used to happen. So you do what happened to the previous generation. You'll be hit up with the experience that the same people went through. That's right. I went through it. People older than me went through it. If you live long enough, you'll go through it. Where you'll be like, oh, this the new. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I remember this. The next thing you know, people approach you like you mad. Oh, like, oh, remember? Oh, you was alive when that was out. Like, so be open to the people. For the older heads, you was once young, and for the younger heads, this person is older, so they was once younger, and you trying to be where they at. At least as far as the age of being alive. So respect each other, listen to each other. We don't have to go against each other all the time. Old school versus new school. We can we can link up. We can be cool. We can respect each other, appreciate each other, crack jokes on each other. You know what I mean? It's all love. It's all good. It's all good. And that's about it. Thank you for listening. Love y'all. Vibing with Reeves. You know the deal. 5 days. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah. ReevesENT.com. And got new music coming out. You can check the old ones. Check me on Bandcamp, Mr. Reeves. And check the music, ReevesENT.com. And have a good one. Stay up. Be blessed, be safe. Be good out there. Yeah.